Hello, and thank you for accessing this video, which will go through how to complete the EAL benchmarks for high school students. You can see here that the email addresses of all of our EAL consultants are listed there. If you're having any questions or concerns, you can reach out to them at any time. In order to complete the benchmarks are housed on EdForms. So I've just put a little link here that will take me to the page. When you get to the landing page for EdForms, it looks like this. And you will just click sign in with your Microsoft. It's your regular login. From here, in order to access the students, you can click on the waffle here and there's an option to click student. If you go that route, you would be searching for the students by their last name and first name or their ASN number. I will show you as well a way that you can do it by TA. So for some high schools, you are responsible for completing the benchmarks for your TA. So I'll show you how you can do that here. You would go to the waffle and click My Classes. This part you won't have to do because you'll likely only have your school on there. After the school is chosen, you will then go to Courses. These are the same courses that show up on PowerSchool, so you'll just scroll down until you find your TA. Sorry, I have a lot here. At this school here, it's just listed as TA, and then a new box will pop up here of forms, and you'll go to the forms and click benchmarks grade 10 to 12. Once you do that, you'll see your TA. If a student has an EAL code, a 301 or a 303, those students are the students who need a benchmark. So you can see here, this student has a 301 code, and then on the right-hand side here, it says benchmark 10 to 12 and view. So you'll have a list of your homeroom here. Any ones that have a code, you need to ensure that they have a benchmark. So we'll just go into the benchmark and go through the process. Just so you're aware, when you get onto the benchmark here, there's some important information at the top. You can see here that there is the 301 code here, and the student also happens to have a refugee code. The other really important information that you need to see here is the EALL current level. This student is listed as a level 3. It's important to note this because at the end of updating the benchmarks, we're going to be determining what their new ELL level is, and the ELL level cannot go down. It can stay the same, but it cannot go down. So please make note of what their current level is and ensure that the level that we determine at the end of this process is either the same or higher than this level. I'm going to go through to start with if the EAL student is in mainstream classes and is not taking ESL classes. The process for students in mainstream classes is a little different than students who are in ESL classes. So again, we'll focus here on students who are in mainstream classes. When you scroll down here, the very first thing you'll see is the EAL annotated evidence upload. Important to note, any student who has an EAL code will need to have a piece of evidence updated. Now, this was due at the end of January, so thank you very much for all the hard work that you have done to complete that. So when you get to this box, you should see that the evidence, which is right here, has been uploaded already. And all 3 of these boxes have been filled in. That's perfect, and that's what it should look like. If for some reason you get here and there's nothing here, it would be best to contact the EAL CT in your building and come up with a plan on what to do next. It's likely that this student maybe started in semester 2, and so the evidence piece needs to be collected now. When you scroll down here, you'll see all the competencies that we're looking for. Now, for students who are in mainstream classes, the listening and speaking sections They should have achieved proficiency here because our students in mainstream classes have achieved a level 3 already. So this looks perfect as it is, and there's nothing that needs to be done here. If for some reason you get to here and it's blank or hasn't been filled in, I would suggest just selecting proficiency achieved so that all the blue boxes are highlighted. But again, this one looks perfect. Nothing needs to be done here for listening or for speaking. Just confirming that the box at the bottom here is done. So for listening, it said completed all, and for speaking here, it says completed all. For students in mainstream classes, we are not assessing reading. So the levels that are here would be from possibly when they were in grade 9 or would have been populated once they were in grade 10, but they don't need to be updated. So you can scroll through the reading section here. Again, just making note of the current level for reading at the bottom here, which is great. So now we're at the writing section, and this is the section that gets updated every year in high school. So what you do when you get here, if you feel that the student, when assessed in January, is likely at the same level, you would just click continue level here. So the box would be clicked. If, again, you feel like that they're the same as where they were in January, you can click here, continue level, continue level. The other option here is if you feel that the student has progressed past they were in January, you can make the selection of complete level. So if I click complete level, you'll see here that they've now achieved the 3 and they're working on the 4. It would be possible for this to happen maybe for a student who is in English like 10-2 this semester and has made some progress with their writing through that. Or based on what you're seeing in TA or in consultation with some of their teachers, you could progress them a level. Again, if they have maintained where they were since January, you would just click continue level. At the bottom here, you would then record what level they were. So here it would be level 3. For the consultation and review section, this is where you'd record any conversations or contact you've had with parents. It could have been through email, by phone call, or a parent-teacher interview. So if you could record any of that communication, that would be great. This is also a really good place to write if you've sent the benchmark home, but it hasn't been signed. So just as a way to mark that you did attempt to send it home to be shared with parents and it just hasn't been returned, or it hasn't been signed digitally, you can record that here. And once we get to the bottom here, I'll just show you quickly how you can send for a signature. Because if they haven't signed yet, it would be a good time now to send one more time. Okay, now we're at the year-end summary. This box, very important, especially this year-end overall ELL level. This is the level that will be recorded here, will then be put into PowerSchool for next year. So the way we would determine the year-end overall level is, first of all, we know that writing has been assessed this year, so you would look to see what their writing level is. If their writing level has gone up a level this year, then that would be an indication that their overall level would increase. But also know that a student can still go up a level even if their writing hasn't gone up based on how they're presenting in class with their listening and speaking. So for example, if a student is completed all for listening and speaking, that's a 5 and a 5, and then they're a 4 for reading and a 3 for writing, then the average would be that they were now an overall level 4. So again, you just scroll through the top, look where they are in each of them, and use your best judgment to determine what their overall level is based on the 4 strands. But because we're only looking at writing, if they go up in writing, they should definitely, their overall level should increase. For transition notes, it would be good to write a sentence regarding student will be progressing to the following grade. Communication will be shared with the teachers regarding setting the student up for success, for example, class selections for next year. For recommended strategies, you can list a couple of things here that have really helped a student. Maybe possibly having visuals for words that they don't understand has helped them, or giving students sentence frames to model how higher level sentences look. You could add those strategies here, and then completed by, type your name and the date. And you can see here that it's telling you you have some unsaved sections here. This does not save automatically, so you need to ensure that you click to save here. Now, I'm not going to save here because I was, messing with someone's benchmark that I shouldn't be, so I'll just go out of here without clicking save, but you guys know to click save. It'll even tell me that I have unsaved changes. So you can see there I scrolled to the top and went to reports. If you're wanting to email a report, you can see here that this family has signed the report. So in this case, I wouldn't be sending it again. But if you have a student whose family hasn't signed the report, you could try sending it one more time here, and you would go to view report. And then this little envelope here is how you would send. So you will click who would sign, and then you can type a little message if you want, and then that will get emailed to the parents. So again, if you are a homeroom teacher or a TA who has students who are in mainstream classes, not ESL classes, then you have seen all the things that need to be done for the benchmarks. I will just quickly go over for students who are in ESL classes, just that there are different, there's just some more updates that need to be done for them. So again, if you have students in mainstream classes, you can finish the video now. If you have students who are in ESL classes, then you can watch for a few more minutes here. So again, for students in ESL classes, check what their current level is. Make sure that at the end of the year it doesn't go down. It either stays the same or goes up. They should have a piece of evidence uploaded. Just a note, you can see there's only one spot for evidence upload. You only need one. You only need, and there should only be one evidence upload here. So just ensuring that the 3 boxes and the evidence upload is there. You would then go through all the strands and update each strand. So you would update listening, you would update, and then once you get to the bottom, make sure you update if they've increased a level, update speaking, and then their current level for speaking would need to be updated, update reading, and then their current level for reading updated, and then writing. You would have looked at it in January. You will look at it again one more time in the spring, and if they've stayed the same or if they've made progress, you can mark that here, and it will be time-stamped that it's been looked at. Update their current level. Consultation and review, same thing. Just record any information that related to communication you've had with the family throughout the year. And then for the year-end summary, you're going to take the average of all 4 strands. So for example, if they're a 2 in listening, a 2 in speaking, a 2 in reading, and a 1 in writing, they would be an overall level 2. And this is the level that they're working on. And this will be the level that will show in PowerSchool next year. Now this student is currently a level 3, so the lowest level I could have for the student would be a level 3. Transition notes and recommended strategies completed by, and the date also filled in here. Okay, so thank you for your time, and hopefully that is helpful to you. And please reach out to your ELLCT in your building or to your EAL consultant if you require any further support. Thank you.